Welcome back everyone. Today we are starting one of the most important topic in the DevOps, Git and GitHub. Before we dive pipelines, Docker, Kubernetes or any other automation, we need to understand how teams track code, collaborate and share changes. And that's exactly where Git and GitHub comes in. Whether you are a developer or a DevOps engineer, Git is something you will use every single day. For updating pipelines to fix configuration files to manage Terraform or Kubernetes manifest, everything is stored in a GitHub. In this video, I'll walk you through Git in a very simple and practical way. No complicated theories, just real explanation that explain DevOps engineer use in day by day work. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly what Git does, why we use GitHub, how the whole workflow functions. So let's start this journey and build a strong foundation for your DevOps career. Here is the thing, Git is not optional in a DevOps, it's essential. Every piece of code, every configuration file, every Terraform module, every Kubernetes YAML, everything lives inside Git repositories. When a developer push new code, they push events using trigger CI/CD pipelines. When a DevOps engineer update infrastructure, those changes are also pushed to the GitHub and automation tools pick them up. Git allows teams to collaborate without overwriting each other's work, which is super important in a large applications. Think about DevOps as a workflow. Developers write a code, push to the GitHub, pipelines run, and application deploy. Without Git, this entire workflow simply doesn't exist. So learning Git is likely learning the alphabet before learning a language. It's the base of everything else we do. Let's understand Git in the simplest possible way. Git is a version control system, which basically means it keeps track of the changes in your files and your code. Imagine writing a long assignment and being able to go back to an earlier version anytime you want. That's what Git do, but for entire project. With the Git, you can see who changed what, when they change it, and why they made that change. If something breaks, you can quickly roll back to an older version. This is lifesaver during production issues. Another superpower Git gives you is working independently on new features without affecting the main project. Multiple people can work at the same time on the same project without interfering with each other. So Git isn't just a tool, it's a complete system that organizes your work and protects your code. Now let's talk about the GitHub, because Git and GitHub are related but not the same. Git is the tool that runs on your computer. GitHub is a cloud platform where your Git repositories live online. Think of GitHub as a storage place but with extra features. Think of a GitHub as a storage place but with extra features like collaboration, code reviews, automation, issue tracking and CI/CD workflows. When you push your code from your laptop, it gets uploaded to GitHub so your whole team can access it. It also where pull requests happen, where teammates can review your code, leave comment, suggest improvements and approve changes. For the DevOps engineer, GitHub connects directly to the pipelines, code services, and automation. If the Git is the engine, GitHub is the entire workshop around it. Now let's talk about the typical Git workflow you will use in a DevOps. Now let's walk through the typical Git workflow you will use in a DevOps. A developer writes some code, then they stage it using Git add, then they commit it with a message describing the changes, and finally they push to the GitHub. This is the basic flow that happens thousands of times a day in a real team. Once the code reaches GitHub, pipelines can automatically test, build Docker images, deploy applications, and notify teams. Pull requests also allow teams to discuss changes before merging. A DevOps engineer, you interact with a Git at almost every stage, for reviewing the branches to the debugging pipelines. Understanding this workflow makes the whole DevOps ecosystem feel much more connected and logical. Here are the commands you will use every single day, and I really mean every day. Git init, create a new Git repository like starting a new project. Git clone, copies an existing project from the GitHub to your laptop. Git status shows what changes and what not saved yet. Then we have a git add dot command which stage your changes. It basically tells Git what files you want to save. And finally, Git commit -m and your message saves that snapshot forever. A commit message should explain what you change and why. This explains when you and your team review the changes later. Mastering this basic command is the first milestone is become stable with the GitHub. Let's talk about the branches. One of the most important and powerful feature is in Git. A branch lets you create your own separate copy of the project to work on. You can experiment, test new ideas, build features without affecting the main code base. This is how multiple developers work on the same project at the same time without breaking anything. Once your work is complete, you merge it back into the main branch. Branching keeps the main code stable, ensure everyone has their own workspace. This is the key concept in the DevOps because the pipelines often run on the different branches and the environments are separate using branch workflow. Once you are done with your changes, you do not directly push into the main project. You create what called a pull request or a PR. This PR allows your teammates to review your code, leave comments, ask questions, and ensure everything looks good. This is a huge part of a DevOps culture: teamwork, transparency, and accountability. Automated checks also run on a PR, like a test and linters, which help catching error early. Once everything looks good, the PR gets approved and merged. This ensures quality and consistency in the code base. These two commands are the ones you will use the most: git pull and git push. Git pull brings the latest changes from the GitHub to your local machine so you are always up to date. Git push uploads your new commits to the GitHub so others can review them. Every time you push your changes, a DevOps automation tools pick it up, start doing their job, build it, test it, and deploy it. So push and pull is the heartbeat of the DevOps code flow. Merge conflicts sound scary at the first, but don't worry, they are completely normal. A conflict just means two people edit the same part of the file. Git does not know whose version to keep, so it's asks you to fix it manually. You will see both versions in your editor. You choose the correct part, save it, and commit it again. Conflicts teach you a lot about the teamwork and the clean coding practices. With the practice, they become very easy to resolve. GitHub is more than just a place to store a code, it's a powerhouse for a DevOps automation. Using GitHub Actions, you can build CI/CD pipelines right inside a GitHub. You can run tests whenever someone pushes the code, deploy apps automatically, build Docker images, update Kubernetes resources, and so much more. This automation is what makes DevOps faster and reliable. Instead of doing things manually, GitHub does it for you constantly and error free. Here are some of the best practices that every professional DevOps engineers follow. Number one, make small commits that easy to track changes. Number two, write clean commits messages that help during debugging. Number three, create feature branches, never work directly on the main branch. Number four, always use pull requests. Lets others review your code. These habits make workflow clean, predictable, and a team friendly. So let's wrap this up. Git is the tool that manages your code and track changes. GitHub is the platform where collaboration and automation happen. Branches, merges, PRs, these are everyday tasks in DevOps. And everything in the DevOps workflow starts from a Git push. If you are comfortable with the Git, you are already halfway into the DevOps world. In our next video, we are going to explore CI/CD pipelines, what they are, how they work, how DevOps engineer build and maintain them. This is where Git connects with automation and deployments. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me your experience with the Git. I'll see you in the next session.